Rudy.
What's up, man?
I'm in.
I'm gonna put everybody on mute. You guys can unmute yourself if you have a question or something. You can just, interrupt me just to keep the noise level down while I'm going through stuff. I'm gonna mute everybody. Figure out how to do it.
To unmute, you just have to hold the space bar down.
Mute everybody, Adonis.
What is that?
How do I mute everybody?
Click on participants, and
Yeah.
then on the bottom right, there should be a mute all.
I gotta mute me.
What?
Mute me and an invite, and then ... that says raise hand.
Curious.
Interesting.
We can all mute ourselves.
We can
right?
mute ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
KW Zoom Room is the host, and I'm KW Ridgefield Zoom Room. That's weird.
That is weird. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Ah, there we go. I had to reclaim host. Now
There
I'm
you
the
go.
host again.
There you go.
All right. Thanks. Yes. Okay, so we're all here for DocuSign. And the first thing you're going to want to do is go to use Google Chrome. That's the best browser to use. And create an incognito window. And I should probably share screen. Share. Okay, everybody can see my screen now? Good, awesome. Okay, so you're gonna wanna log into your command with your normal credentials, same as the MyKW credentials. Again, incognito window, in Chrome, Chrome is the best. Does everybody here know how to put a contact in, or does anybody not know how to put a contact into command, or not have a contact in command? Everybody good on that? Speak now, because I'm going to skip that part if everybody at least has one contact in there and knows how to put a contact in there. Okay. So in order to start an opportunity, you can go here to the little handshake symbol on the left. That's your opportunities dashboard. And from there, you can click on the create an opportunity button, assuming command decides to load. Everything that has the little red asterisk is going to be required. Market Center, it should default to whatever market center you are a part of. I'm part of Stanford, so I don't have choice. If you do have access to both market centers, just make sure to change this box to reflect which market center you need that opportunity to be submitted to, whether that be Stanford or Ridgefield. The opportunity type, it's listing, buyer, landlord, tenant. Basic, we'll do a buyer transaction. The owner of the opportunity is going to be you. This doesn't reflect the client. This is referring to who owns this particular opportunity. So that will always just default to you. This is where you would enter in your client. So just click in and start typing in one of your contacts' names. Again, this is the part where they have to be a contact already in your system. So I'm going to add Jonathan in here. The opportunity name. You can edit this to be whatever you want. It defaults to your client name dash the opportunity type. But you can change this to whatever you feel comfortable with. If you like to use the property address or whatever it is you prefer, you can change that here. Which one is the bottom? It requires the commission rate. So that would just be whatever you're entitled to get on this. Typically 2.5 in our area. And then the opportunity phase. For now, we can just leave this as cultivate. These are for your reference as you're bringing your client along. So we'll just leave this as cultivate. It won't let you put it under contract quite yet. Same thing with the phase or with the stage of the opportunity. These are just for your kind of reference on where you are with this particular client. And these can be edited at any time. So once you're done, you can click create. And then when you here, and this is sort of the dashboard for this opportunity. It's the name, my client. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add the property address here in this section. So if you click on the little gray pencil on the right, it'll let you enter in the property address. And it tries to find the property address for you, but it does not come up automatically with apartment numbers or suites or anything, but that's what address line 2 is for, and you can just add that in yourself. And then just save it, and it'll appear here. So the next step is to start adding documents. So you're going to want to go from the Details tab, which is where it starts, over to the Documents tab. And I will preface this with saying that this part will, it'll look different depending on whether you are in Ridgefield or you are in Stamford, because they are set up individually by each market center. So this is where you'll have a list of documents. This is what it looks like for a buyer transaction in the Stamford Market Center. It may look slightly different for you guys who are in the Ridgefield Market Center. But this will
Sam,
show you, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't see any documents in my things.
So on the left-hand side here, there's these 3 folders. It defaults to this first one that has consultation that doesn't actually have anything in it. But if you go to under contract, it'll give you a whole list of the documents that may be required. Some of them are required, like this exclusive right says it's required, purchase agreement required. Do you see that now, Jen?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Sam.
Okay, yeah. So they may be divided between these 2 folders. Again, it differs between Ridgefield and Stamford, so I'm not sure exactly how it's set up in the Ridgefield Market Center. But this will give you a general list of documents that you may need for the given transaction. In this case, it's a buyer transaction. So we have an exclusive right to represent buyer. We have that listed as required. A purchase agreement required, agency disclosure required. Then some of them, like the dual designated, are conditionally required, and it gives you the condition in which you would need to submit that. So dual designated only if both sides of the deal are in your market center or in between the Stamford and Ridgefield market centers. Do you need this form? So it gives you the whole list of possible documents you could need. In order to send out documents to get them signed by your client, you're going to have to go to DocuSign, and in order to do that, you have to go to. Yep.
Sam, do you have the COVID contract that people have to fill out before going to see a house? Or
I believe it is in there as a template. It's not listed here as the required documents, but there should be a template for it in the DocuSign side, so that you can send it out to your clients.
Okay, thank you.
And anything that's not on this list here can be added. You can add anything miscellaneous by using this button. I'll get to that in a minute. So you're going to want to click the Start a Transaction button. And it should bring you over to the DocuSign page if it did not block like it did on mine. So then it'll bring you to this page for you to log into your DocuSign account. And this is your DocuSign room. So this is sort of similar to a loop in .loop. You want to think of it that way. This is where you kind of store and manage your documents in terms of getting signatures. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you get into your room for your opportunity is go to the details section. And this room is linked to the opportunity that you just created. So they are connected to each other. So in this section, you're going to want to edit some of this information here in the details section. You can use the edit button here. For those of you that are in the Stanford Market Center who may have taken a DocuSign class in the past, the way that we're going to be teaching it now is slightly different. So there's going to be a couple of different steps involved, but in the long run, it should make it easier for you guys. So I don't want you to get too confused if you see me doing things a little bit differently than the way we've been teaching it normally in the Stanford Market Center. So here you're going to want to edit. It has a whole bunch of fields, a lot of which I don't think are necessary. Local currency, things like that, I don't think you really need. You can put your MLS here, whatever your MLS was. But the most important things are the people. So you want to enter in your sellers and your buyers here on these columns on the right. So it's going to be Adonis.
Hey, Sam,
Yes.
how come I'm not able to type in any of these places?
Did you click the edit button here
No,
first? Click
No.
edit, and then it'll open up all the fields for you to type in.
that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sam,
Yep.
is it not able to pre-populate that?
To pre-populate these fields here.
Is it not dragging the opportunity information to where it should be, like for seller or buyers for?
So it does drag your client's information over here. I'll find it. It's down pretty far. So I use my contact, Jonathan Cachotti, as my buyer. So his information is already filled in here.
Okay.
I don't have to add his information again. It automatically brought it from the opportunity. But things like the seller, and listing agent, things like that, those are going to have to be added in manually.
Okay.
So, Sam,
Yes.
our information is not populating, our personal information as the agent? That's not happening yet?
Your information should populate down here in the, so I'm the buyer's agent on this one.
Oh, it is
So
now. Okay.
buyer's agent, the phone number is going to default, I believe, to the office's phone number. So you can change this if you want to put in your cell phone number instead. But yeah, it will bring in this information for you. But again, it's only for you and only for your client, not for the other side of the deal.
Great. Thank you.
You'll just have to add that information yourself. So I had our sellers, going to just be Adonis. You are going to want to add, I guess, as much information as you have, a phone number, their address here. Because when you add this information here, it's going to pull onto some of the forms later, so you don't have to type things out multiple times. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Let's see, what did I see here? Todd's here, so let's use Todd. Buyer and the buyer's agent are already filled in. And the only other thing that you definitely want to add here is the location. This is the property. So whatever property is being bought or being sold or whatever it is. So once you've added all the information here, I'm not going to spend time adding all of this in. You can click save, and it will save your information here. And again, you can come back and you can edit this at any time. If you're missing information on somebody, you can always just come back and edit it. So once you've added the information to the details page, you're going to want to go to the documents page, which is this tab right here.
Hey, Sam?
Yep.
Quick question, because I noticed, I know you didn't address it, but I noticed when you're scrolling down, there's talks about commission and all that. For teams like ourselves, do we have to put our, let's say it's Max or Josh or Brian or Stone, they do the deal. Do I have to then put in what their splits are and how that all works out, or is that done?
No, that'll be something separate. That would be what's done on the green sheet or in the future on the commission section. For this, you don't need to put in what everybody's splits are.
But do I need to put in that it's that if it's like Max's deal, for example, or Josh's deal?
If they're the primary agent, then they're the one that should be under, like agent one. Because they're usually, yeah, it would be like Max or Josh's information that goes in here if they're the primary, buyer's agent on this.
Okay.
Because that's the name that's going to pull onto any documents.
And it's their opportunity that they created, so they already put that information in, assuming that they did that into command, right?
Yes. However, for teams, I believe it might be different because I think everything like for you guys runs under your command,
Right.
under Todd Auslander and not specifically under Max or Josh. But that's something that it's going to pull your information. But if Jen's the one doing this, she can change it to, say that Max is the agent on this one and his information will pop up on the forms.
Okay.
So she would just need to edit that manually.
Okay. Thank you.
Sign by not sure on that. On when it comes to teams, on who owns and assigns it. I don't know if you assign it to somebody if their name is going to pop up automatically here, if it's going to have to be edited. But sorry, back to so once you get done with the details section, you go to documents, and from here you're going to click the add button, and you're going to get a drop down, and you're going to go to DocuSign forms. And for some reason, it seems to take a while on my computer to load things. So I just got to give it a minute. Really hope this loads. Please bear with me. There it is, popped up. So if you click it, you may see a box pop up that tells you or asks you to add your NRDS ID. If you do see that, there should be an option for you to skip it, and you won't have to enter your ID in order to access the forms.
So Sam,
Yes.
mine says select forms provider, Realtor or Northwest Multiple Listing Service.
So on the bottom right of that box, I don't know why it didn't pop up for me, there should be something that says like proceed without your NRDS ID, and you can click that. It should be towards the bottom right of the box. It would be like right down here on the box. Do you see that?
Well, all right, I hope this works. Now I have this dark screen.
Yeah, it's been taking a little while lately to load up. Once you cancel that or once you skip that step, but in the end, you should have this box here that says add DocuSign forms or select library.
Okay. I will wait. Thank you.
Okay, so once you have this, and again, this is a part where it's going to differ between Ridgefield and Stanford. If you choose DocuSign Forms Group from this first dropdown instead of DocuSign Forms Library, we have started to put together folders. So this one is buyer docs, property, landlord docs for rental, listing docs for property, tenant docs for rental, where this folder will only include documents that you need for that particular type of transaction. We literally just started forming these, so they might not be complete yet. And I don't know if they are there at all in the Ridgefield Market Center. If they are not, you can just stick with DocuSign Forms Library instead of a group, and it will open up different libraries for you. This is the Hudson Gateway MLS, Smart MLS. KW612 is our proprietary forms, and this is the New York State Association of Realtors. It goes along with Hudson Gateway. And you can select which library you want to view forms in. So if you're looking specifically for an MLS form, you click here. If you're looking for forms that were created generally by our market center, you would use that one. And once you click it, and it loads, it'll give you a list of all of the documents that we have that Keller Williams has templated for us. So we've got a referral form, agency explanation, buyer policy, dual designated, etc. And this is where you will pick which documents you want to have signed. So you can do purchase agreements and an agency disclosure.
Is this, Sam, is this where the COVID release is?
So the COVID release was not templated by Keller Williams. It was templated by the office. So it's going to be in a different section. So for anybody who's been to a DocuSign class in Stanford before, and we did this slightly differently, it'll be that way. But I will show you how you can access that form.
Thank you.
So we're just going to pick some forms and we're going to add them. And it's going to add them to your documents section. So here we added the forms. So you can click on a form to open it up and to make edits to it before you actually send it out to any of your clients. And you can see here that some of the information that we put into the detail section has already pre-populated. So this agreement is between our seller, Adonis, and our buyer, Jonathan Cachotti. It gives the address for Adonis. It would have given more information here had I entered it. But this is where you can make any changes that need to be made. So it's 16. Adding any of the items, including the following items, whatever. These were templated by Keller Williams themselves, so you might find a couple of weird little errors, like, yeah. Like this here where it says including the fall, it's supposed to say following, but they covered it up with the template box. Those are just small little minor things you might come across. If you want, you can add it yourself, or you can just start typing in, which this is where you would add any information that you would normally edit on a purchase agreement, that the agent, I should say, would edit on this. And again, you can see the agents already filled in. Had I put in more information would have filled. And when you're done making any changes, you just save and close it, and I'll save everything for you. So when you're ready to get things signed by your client, you can select the forms that you want to send. Just hover over and click on the little circle on the top left to check them all off. And then you can click on this little pen symbol up here, and that says DocuSign, and it'll bring you to the DocuSign page. So this is your envelope that you are going to be sending to your client with all of your documents inside of it. This is the name of the envelope. This is more for your reference. So you can name it something so that you know what's inside here. So you can do purchase agreement. That way, if I need to go back to this envelope later, when it's in my envelope section, it will tell me what was in this envelope. You can name this anything you want. It's up to you. So these are the documents that we brought over. And the next step you need to do is to add your recipients. So you're going to click here, the Add Recipients button, and you're going to use the pre-tagged roles option. That's what adds all of the fields to the forms for your client to sign. So in this case, buyer, agent. So one odd thing that we noticed when we were looking at these forms is that the way Keller Williams templated them, the purchase agreement has the buyer called purchaser one, and the agency disclosure, for instance, has them as buyer one. They are the same thing. So you would just click on both of them, since one is for the purchase agreement and one is for agency disclosure, just to make sure that boxes appear on all of your forms. We're just going to do buyers and the buyer agent for now. You should be able to use this select button here, this drop-down menu, and find the people that you added to the detail section. So in this case, Adonis was our buyer. Adonis is also our purchaser.
Hey, Sam.
Yep.
Just real quick, because I got a little lost. After you click on each document to get them to this envelope,
Yes.
what did you do after you clicked on each document?
So after you click on each document and you've selected them, there will be a gray bar kind of towards the top middle-ish of the screen above the documents, and one of them has a little symbol that looks like a pen. And if you hover over it, it'll say DocuSign. Click on that one, and then it'll bring you to this envelopes page.
Thank you.
I had that wrong before. Our buyer purchaser is Jonathan. The agent, seller. So once you've selected the people, the roles, and the people associated with them, you can add selected. And it will automatically pull in their name and their email address from the information that you entered in before. These numbers on the left-hand side here show you the order in which these people will be receiving the documents. So the next person in line won't receive documents until the person before them has finished signing. So generally speaking, the agent is the last person to fill things out. So we are going to change this to 2. And then our purchaser and our buyer are the same person. So we can make this both 1 so that they'll receive it. Why won't it let me do that? What the heck? So bear with me while I'm a tiny bit confused here. Usually should be able to put multiple people as one. It looks like it's forcing you to put people as 1, 2, 3 with no duplicates. And yes, Kim, you can also, you can drag them around. You can drag and drop them as well, instead of just changing the number on them. So I'm not sure why it's not letting you put 1 for both of these, but I would definitely make them back to back. So have your purchaser and buyer be 1 and 2. I don't know if it's going to send it in 2 separate emails to them. Sorry guys, bear with me while we learn this new way of sending things out. But so this will be the order that they receive it. So purchaser 1 will get it first, buyer 1 will be 2, and the buyer's agent will be 3.
Once you extract the virus, please disinfect fetal in tracks.
So is it giving someone an error with the email? Is anybody having an issue? Because in the past, it used to not be able to let you put the same email in both slots, but when we tried it last, it did. So the next step after this would be to click on Next to review the actual fillable fields. Normally, that would be the part where it gave you an error if you had the same email, but it doesn't seem to be doing that.
Hey, can everyone mute themselves?
I think it's me. Hold on.
Thank you.
Ah, thank you, Sherry. That makes sense. So you cannot have the same email, both of them listed as slot 1. Good to know. I did not realize that. I thought you just couldn't have the same email, period. So thank you for that, Sherry. So once you're on this page here, it'll have all the documents that you put in here, and it will have fields assigned. If you want to see who is assigned to what field, you can go here on the left to this drop down, and it'll tell you who's assigned to which fields. So because we had 2 Jonathan Cachotes on here, he has 2 different colors, and then me as the agent. So Jonathan Cachote as the buyer is the blue, and then me as the agent is the purple. So this would be for him to sign and date, and this will be for me to sign and date. And you just want to review to make sure that the boxes are in the right spot, or you don't need to add any additional boxes you may need to add yourself. And this would be all the information I would have filled out on the forms prior. Filled, and here's for my buyer to sign. Agreement, all this I would have filled out. This is spots for our buyer's initials. And for our buyer to sign and date. If you needed to add anything to this, any boxes for someone to fill out, check boxes, text boxes, you can use this section over here, and you can drag and drop boxes to wherever you need them to go. So this is set under Jonathan Cachote. So if I move a text box out, I can place a text box on there. I can adjust the size of it. I can make it required for him or not required, either or. So I believe, Kim, for the dual designated, that would be something you edit in the initial stages before you bring it to the envelope. When it's still in your document section, you click on a document to open it up, you should be able to edit those fields. And then it'll pull over to this side as well.
And I believe if you did not fill it out on the other one, you can add those boxes here.
Yes, yes, you can always add boxes here. So if you realize that you did forget to fill something out, like the dual designated boxes, and you wanted to do it, you could do it yourself. Set it to your agent. So now this is me as the agent. I can add a checkbox. This is designated, whatever. Could put a box. And if you double click on a box, it will check it off for you. So that's the way it will come out when the form is sent. Once you are done adding any boxes or making sure all the boxes are fine the way they are, you can go ahead and click the send button, and it will send it to all of the people listed on the documents in the order that they were set. So it'll go to person 1 first, then it'll go to person 2, 3, however many people you had listed. Send this. So once it's sent, you will be able to find your envelope in this tab here, the envelopes tab. It put us here automatically. And this is the envelope we sent, and it said it's waiting for others. You can click into it, and you can see where it's at. So we're still waiting for Jonathan Pichotti to sign it, and then the second form will go to Jonathan, and then it'll go to me for my signatures. When it's your turn as the agent to sign, you'll be able to sign it directly from this envelope. There will be a button up here that says sign now. And you can just click it and sign all your documents that you need to have signed. If there was any errors to the envelope that you sent, you realized maybe you forgot to add a box somewhere, or you wanted to try and add another document, you can use this correct button to change your envelope, but it will not let you change the fillable fields after somebody has signed it, because it doesn't want you to add anything extra or take anything out after someone's signature is on it. So just be mindful of that. But if you're still waiting on somebody to sign it and nobody signed it yet, you can make corrections with this button. It'll just bring you back to the envelope page here, and you can, if you needed to add somebody or add a document, you can make the changes here, or you can edit the signing fields with this button. Once all of the documents that you sent have been signed, this blue bar that says waiting for others will change to green bar, and it'll say completed. So the signatures don't disappear on this like they did in .loop, Alex. It just won't let you make corrections once somebody has signed a document. It won't let you make those edits anymore. So I believe you would have to send them another document.
Okay.
It's just DocuSign's way of making sure everything is secure and nobody's changing things after signatures have been made. Because unlike .loop, signatures on DocuSign become part of the PDF itself. It's not just, it doesn't remain as a field. It stays as a PDF and can't be changed. So once this is done and this says completed, the completed forms will move over to your document section here.
Wait, I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
So if, let's say you're in a negotiation, we have to change those purchase agreements quite frequently. In the name of the document, like, should we just change to version 2? Because it looks like there's not a timestamp on there, just a date. I just want to make sure I'm always using the most recent version of,
so if you
of a
needed to
negotiation.
if you needed to make changes, I believe this document should stay here and continue to be editable. So if you just needed to, like, this is the purchase agreement. So if I open this.
Right, but the buyer signs the purchase agreement and then we send it, and then there are changes to it.
And you want to make changes with his signature still on there, or you want to make changes and have him re-sign it?
No, I just want to know if I have to make an entirely new document every time there's a change.
Well,
On
no, 'cause
the signature just fell off, so you could just resend it.
So on this
But
one,
since the signature
this
doesn't
should-
fall off,
yeah, this one should stay in this section here, this purchase agreement, this editable one.
oh, it's
You-
separate. I'm
So you should
sorry.
be able to make changes on this again, and then
Oh,
resend
okay.
this out. So you may only need to change a purchase price here.
I missed the crucial part. Sorry.
And then,
Thank you.
and then you should be able to resend it out again, just with
Thanks.
whatever changes that you made.
So Sam, that leads me to a question. Your client signs, now you have to send it to the listing agent for them and for their clients. Where do you add the listing agent's information so they can edit and sign?
So they won't be able to edit it, as far as
All
I'm
right,
aware.
so for that document, they can't, but there
They
are
won't be able to,
documents-
yeah, I'm sorry.
there
Continue.
are documents that they need to put information in. So where do you put them in so they can fill and sign, I should say?
So when we were in the envelope before and you were adding recipients to it, you use the pre-tag roles, there's roles for anybody who should be doing anything on these documents. So if you wanted it to go to your buyers first, and then your signature, and then you can add the sellers and make the sellers or the listing agent or whoever next in line, and it will continue to go to them.
Right, but we typically would not have the seller's information. That's why I say, so would the listing agent create their own envelope on their end?
They can, however, they're going to have their client sign. So you're going to send it to you're going to send it to the listing agent or whoever the other agent is for them to get their clients to fill it out. However, they want to send, if they want you to send it directly to them, you can add them as recipients and you can send it to them.
Okay, thanks. And thanks, Kim. That's how I do it now. I was just looking for a shorter way.
Yeah, I mean, you can send it as a PDF. I mean, you can also send it through DocuSign here. So once you have it signed, and it's been signed by you and your client, it'll appear here as a completed document. And then you can pull this document, this completed document, into a new envelope and send it out to them.
Gotcha. Yeah, just create a new envelope. Okay.
So just create an envelope, and then you would upload this document or whichever document you need signed by them, and add the appropriate fields or the appropriate signature box just where it needs to go for them to sign.
Okay, thank you.
So Sam, as a listing agent though, I'm going to be getting the binder from another agent at another company. So when I get that document, then I have to put it into this room, correct? And then, then send it. So I have to download it and put it into this envelope.
Yeah, so you can upload that document. You should be able to just upload a document from your computer here. Just, upload. He sent it to you. It's going to be a PDF probably.
Right.
You can just upload it here. It'll appear as a document.
Okay.
And then you can do the same thing, or I don't know if it lets you click those with a little box and then do DocuSign. If it doesn't, you can always go to envelopes, create a new envelope, and then upload from your room docs here. And that document should appear, that PDF that you download or uploaded should appear here. And then you can select it and you can add that document.
Okay.
And then apply whatever fields, if they need a signature field or whatever they need to do, you can do that from here.
Okay. Thanks.
Sam, why do you have to create a new envelope? If I'm following this, you're adding a document with another signature to the same transaction. Why another envelope?
The envelopes are just, so once an envelope has been, once an envelope has been signed by all the recipients, it's considered completed. And you're not going to add things back to that envelope. You're going to create another envelope with whatever new documents you need signed if my computer loads.
Okay, and then where do all of the documents end up? Are they in the room?
So all the documents that are put into DocuSign or signed through DocuSign are going to end up here in the documents section of your room.
Okay, so all documents and several different envelopes will be in the documents.
Yep, all the envelopes, you could have 10 different envelopes that all come back as completed. All of those completed forms are going to come up here in this section.
Excellent.
And instead of saying form, I think it has a little check mark and it says completed or signed, and it's green instead of blue. That means those documents have been signed, they were sent out, and they came back with all the signatures on them. And they'll appear here as well. Yes, Alex, I believe they do need to be in a PDF form in order for you to upload them to DocuSign. Yes, all of the documents will appear here in the documents section, Sherry, whether they're signed or not signed. The ones that are signed will have a, like I said, this symbol will be like a little check mark. And instead of saying form in blue, it'll be green, and I think it says signed or it says completed. And when you're looking at them later on, it'll tell you that it's signed. So once you have a signed form, which I know I don't have any here because Jonathan showed he's not going to sign them when he's at work.
It will show green with a little check mark saying signed.
Yeah, so it'll be signed when it'll automatically come over from that finished completed envelope over to documents for you. And it will be split up. So like when you sent the envelope, you sent 3 documents and it looked like one giant PDF that you scroll down, it'll break it up into the separate documents here. So once you have once you have your documents signed, you're going to need to upload them to Command for compliance purposes. So just go back to your Command tab. And you're going to want to attach the appropriate documents to the line item. So we had a purchase agreement there. So you're going to use the Add a File button here to attach items. Alex, I named the envelope buyer docs, not my particular room. So that was just for me to know which forms were in which envelope that I was sending out to people.
So I'm sorry to beat a dead horse. You start with a client and then you have your transaction, and that is the room. And then in the rooms, you name each envelope of like gathering certain documents together, like agency documents.
Yeah, so it's for your reference, so you know which documents were in that. So if you end up sending out 3 envelopes at the same time to 3 different people, you know which envelope had which documents in it. It defaults to like please DocuSign, and if all your envelopes say please DocuSign, might not remember which one had which documents in it. So it's just more for your reference.
And then in the rooms, can you have multiple rooms under one client? Like sometimes people have more than one transaction going on at once.
Yes, the room is linked to the opportunity, not the client. So you can have 4 different opportunities with one client going on at the same time. And each one will create its own room when you click the Start a Transaction button over here.
And where do you name them? Do you name them as a room or as an opportunity?
You would name it as the opportunity. So
and then the opportunity
name will, so the opportunity, so when you create an opportunity, you pick the contact and the type of opportunity, listing, buyer, landlord, tenant, And then the next line underneath that will be the name of your opportunity. And you can change that to whatever you want.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I hate looking for things.
So when you're ready to add an item, you go to add a file. And if you had this signed through DocuSign, if it's in your DocuSign room, you can click on DocuSign instead of manual. And it will load all of the documents for you. Again, I don't have any that are completed. I believe when they are signed, it has like parentheses signed at the end of it. And then you can select whichever document you have. And it'll automatically pull it from that DocuSign room over here. So you don't need to download it and then re-upload it. It'll automatically pull it. If you got a wet signature on an item, on a document, then you would just go to manual if it's in your computer and browse your files for it. Or you can drag and drop it. And just pick whatever, I don't know, I'm just picking things and assigning it. If there's something that's not on this checklist here that you need to add, maybe there's a letter, specific form, you can add any items you want using the add item button. It makes you put in the document name. It makes you select the document type. Again, if you don't know if it's just kind of miscellaneous, there is an other function down here. And then you can upload a document for your computer and save it, and it'll go to the very bottom of the checklist. I will get to that in a minute, Sherry Lee, sorry. Just finish this up. So when you are ready to submit the documents that you have, you can click the Submit to MC button. And it will ask you, are you sure you want to submit this? And then it's been submitted to your MCA. Make sure to remember to click this button. It's the same thing as clicking submitting your loop for review on .loop. If you don't click this button, it's not going to pop up on your MCA's radar. So they won't be able to find it, and they may ask you, where's your compliance? So just remember to always click the submitted button.
Do you have to check which items you're submitting?
No, you submit the entire folder.
The whole thing goes in.
Yes, so
Okay.
each one of these is its own folder. Again, there's nothing under consultation, but you can, once you have a document here, you can submit each one individually, each folder. You don't submit the documents individually like you would on .loop. And then you will get, when it's reviewed by your NCA, instead of this being uploaded, it will change to either approved or rejected. And then there will be a little note here, and it'll tell you what was wrong with it if it was rejected. If it's approved, there's no note. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. So we can move the documents that we want to submit into a new envelope and just submit those. I don't want to send stuff we don't need to send. Like,
No, that you're not, that's not the point. Yeah.
You're not, the envelopes are just to send out documents to your clients or whoever needs a signature.
how do you pick what you're sending to submit to the MCA?
You're going to submit everything. You're going to submit the entire folder to the MCA. Yes, everything that you upload.
Even the non-signed things? Like,
Well,
you know,
the
the
non-signed,
transaction?
the non-signed things wouldn't be here. You're going to upload the files that you want to upload, and you should only be uploading things that are signed.
Yeah, this is a different spot than the envelopes.
All right, I missed something really important. I have to play with it. I'm sorry.
So this is, we went back to command instead of to the DocuSign room. We left the room, the DocuSign room, and went back to command. Our room is up towards the top. This is command. So this is where you're going to upload your documents to submit them to the MCA once they've been signed.
Sam, once you initially submit, if you add documents after it has, some documents have been submitted, will they automatically go to them?
Yes, they will automatically go. if you make changes, I believe it will, like if, let's say this document was missing a signature and your MCA said to add a signature and you replace it, the status will change to resubmitted versus submitted.
Gotcha, thank you.
And then we will change the status to returned if there's something wrong with it. And we'll change it to approved once we have all the documents that we need. And that your status will be here. Right now it's just submitted because the MCA hasn't done anything to it yet. Sherry Lee wanted to see. Okay. Okay. So at least in the Stanford Market Center, we also have forms that we templated ourselves. One of those is the COVID form. So if you wanted to go and find a form like that, those forms are so recent that they were never sent to Keller Williams to be templated. So you would just create a new envelope in your room. And then you're going to go down to this function here. Instead of pulling from Room Docs, you're going to use a template. And then you're going to go to the one on the left that says shared with me, because that's any documents that the Market Center has created and templated and shared with the agents. Again, it differs between Stanford and Ridgefield, so I don't know what you guys in Ridgefield will have available if you use the shared templates.
In Richfield, I don't know that we have any shared templates yet. Last check, we didn't. However, the COVID and the health statement are in command. Under the documents, you could print it out.
Oh, okay.
You
We will have to, yeah, we will have to add. So this was the rental, there was a rental COVID form, and then there was, I think there was a form that Rick just sent out recently, and I can't remember what it was called.
And unless you've put the address of the Market Center on those forms, we can use them. They're the same form. You didn't put the address of the Market Center.
I didn't change anything. I just uploaded whatever Rick
They're the same
sent
for
out.
both Market Centers.
Yeah,
Right.
so all this is just default as to, yeah, and in this form, it even says authorized Keller Williams Realty / Keller Williams Prestige Property. So it's got both names listed on the forms. So this is, I know this was the one for the rentals. I will have to upload those documents to the checklist for you guys to print out as well if you just wanted to print them out and have your client sign them. Does anybody remember what the last form that Rick just sent us was? Can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, Adonis just said it
was
was
the
the wiring fraud.
Wire ones.
Oh, wire fraud. Oh, okay. Here we go. So here you upload those templates, and you're going to do the same thing that you did where you add recipients and you use pre-tag roles. And you're going to pick whichever roles apply to these particular documents, whoever you need to sign them. So if you buyer one, tenant one, and the buyer's agent, which is yourself. You can add and from here is pretty much the same thing. You're just going to go next, make sure the boxes are fine, and then you can send out your envelope. Sherry Lee, which email are you referring to?
Rick sent out something that has to be signed. If you want to show a house to anyone or enter into any contract with anyone, you have to do the health
questionnaire.
health questionnaire and then a COVID release or whatever it's called.
Okay, I
And
will
I-
have to, I can upload those to Command and to DocuSign.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can upload those. Just give me till like tomorrow and then I can get them up and running.
Okay.
But I mean, those are kind of the basics of using DocuSign. Does anybody have any questions in particular?
Is this recording going to be posted on the YouTube channel?
I was not recording this.
It says recording.
Yes, you are.
Top
It is.
left.
It's going to be uploaded, Chris. Don't worry about
Oh, it's auto recording.
Awesome.
Sneaky,
Gotcha, Sam.
sneaky there,
Gotcha, Sam.
Adonis. Way to be sneaky. I will certainly will
Thank you,
not be doing the classes anymore. Yeah, but that's pretty much what I got. I can answer questions for anybody that's got any specific questions that I may not have covered.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome, Debbie.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're a shining star, Sam.
Thank you for
Thank you.
recording, Adonis.
No problem.
Thank you for not telling me that you were recording, Adonis.
It's an auto feature. What can I tell you?
Okay. I guess that's it. I will let everybody go. And I hope everybody has a good day. If you guys want to message me if you have any questions afterwards, my cell phone number is 203-644-8653. And my email is kw612mca@gmail.com. If you guys want to write those down or whatever, I'm here. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all later.